An early-ish Dreamcast puzzler that didn't really set that console on fire got the launch title treatment on the Game Boy Advance, a console arguably more suited to single-screen puzzler games. One of the selling points for the home console version was this 4-way multiplayer that could be done locally or even over the internet. Still a fairly big deal at the turn of the century, it's fair to say. Still, when you had the likes of Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur, and Blue Stinger, Dogs Bauer as best protagonist of all time, anyone? Just me then? It's hard not to feel like CHU-CHU Rocket is a smidge low-key for Sega's swan song console. It's a fairly simple premise here, but it's the sort of thing that has always worked really well on Game Boy consoles. You have these space mice called CHUs, who are just happily getting along, doing whatever mice do in space. There's a joke in there somewhere about moons and cheese, but it's not really coming to me. When one day, the CAPU-CAPUs, evil space cats, led by one Gul Dukat, not really, but how cool would that have been? Come aboard their space station and start eating them all. Look, okay, so the story's not exactly a stellar one. Forget it. But this is a puzzle game, not a plot-driven masterpiece. You have to guide these mice to the safety rockets on each stage while avoiding the enemies and other traps. If a mouse runs into an arrow, it'll go in the direction the arrow faces, running until it hits a wall. Here, they'll make a 90-degree right turn if they can. If there's a wall in the way, they'll turn left instead. You essentially need to figure out where to place your pieces to get them to the exit. Simple stuff, but like all great puzzle games, a simple premise is used more and more creatively as time goes on, and some of these levels are very clever indeed. Now, this isn't like Lemmings, where a certain percentage of the critters are expendable. You need to get every single CHU-CHU back to the rocket, or else you fail. Note, it's not just about where you place the arrows and the path you calculate. There's a real element of timing here as well. The cats run around the same maze, following the same rules as the mice. They'll have to turn on an arrow or a wall just the same, and will equally fall down holes. Should they get to the rockets, they'll actually destroy them, so this is something you need to take note of as well. This opens up other solutions. Do you place the arrows to direct your mice towards the destination, or specifically direct the cats away from the paths that the mice are going to follow? Timing can be quite difficult to anticipate due to how many moving pieces there can be on some stages, and also the fact that the cats actually move slower than the mice do. Fortunately, by pressing R at any time, you can engage the action, resetting it with L. This is vital at times to figure out where you want to put stuff. What seems like a viable option might actually result in a capture later down the line, which you want to avoid. Thankfully, there are no lives in the main puzzle mode, so you can sit and work these out as much as you need to, or just brute force it when you inevitably get stuck. It also allows you to work out solutions in stages. Find the placement of the first arrow that gets the mice into a certain area or stops the cats attacking the rocket or whatever, engage the play, see what happens, then go from there. It's sometimes also an option to reverse engineer the answers, start at the destination and calculate backwards. Tricky at first, but once you get your head around how the events unfold once you press R, it becomes really good fun. There are 25 normal levels to plow through first, then a further 25 harder ones. After that, you'll be able to get special stages that have some references to other Sonic Team games. These are just the official ones though. If you go past normal, hard or whatever, you'll come to something called User. This has 4 categories in it, labeled 1 through to 4. Within each, you can choose a letter from A to Y. Within each of those letters, you get the option of 25 other puzzles as well. So, well, let's do the maths. 4 times 25 times 25, that's like 2,500 extra levels to play. These come from the Dreamcast version themselves, not officially designed as such, but user created and uploaded, in the way made so famous by Super Mario Maker in more recent days. In that same vein, some are better than others, but there's enough in here that you'll probably never get through the whole lot. A ridiculous amount of content right here. A slightly different tact comes in the challenge mode. These follow the same rules, but it's now real time, meaning you get a time limit to work out and place the arrows. Action is constantly moving here too, which means an element of speed and accuracy as well as intellect. Maybe it's my age, but I didn't enjoy this test quite as much as the more cozy puzzle mode. It was too quick for me to work stuff out, but then I'm an old bastard by this point and everything feels too quick these days. There are also up to 4-player multiplayer modes as well, so yeah, you get plenty for your money with this one. The graphics and sound are decent if unremarkable, which is why I haven't really talked about them. The rockets launching look quite effective, I suppose. So yeah, a simple but challenging puzzle game, the sort of thing every good handheld console needs its fair share of. Not too shabby.